You're surprised that Sam was 13? Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I was a career Army soldier, retired after over 30 years in the service. I was enlisted and became an officer, so I was able to go past the 30-year mark. Anybody here career military? I know we got a lot of military in the audience.
Mustangs, woo!
And I'm going to tell you, it's a different transition if you have made it a career. It's one thing if you've spent 3, 4, 5, 6 years in the military and you get out and you transition and you're starting a new life. It's a different thing if you're starting it when you're kind of middle-aged. And it's sort of a scary experience. I remember I was trying to figure out what I was going to do with my life, and I was on the metro and I saw this sign for UMUC, the University of Maryland University College, or you're all familiar with it, and it said #1 for veterans. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to give these guys a call, and maybe I'll look at my education, maybe try something new. So I called the University of Maryland University College, and they connected me to the Department of Redundancy Department, and I talked to a counselor there. He said, the first thing you need to do is get a bachelor's degree. I said, I have a bachelor's degree. And he goes, exactly. And I said, okay, so I'm not going to do that. So I decided what I was going to do is leverage the training that I got when I transitioned. They teach you how to convert your military experience and skills to things you can put on a resume, and they teach you how to do a job interview. And for me, that was good. I came in the Army when I was 18 years old and retired less than 3 years ago, just to give you an idea of how long I was in the Army. And I'd never had a job interview. I'd never done a resume. And figuring out what I kicked in doors and shot people in the face. Quick on his feet and good with his hands. I mean, however you can work that into putting it on a resume. Well, I got to tell you, it actually was a pretty good thing, because I got the first job that I applied for, and I was not qualified for this job, but my resume looked really good. So I went in, and it was about day 3 I figured out the training that they don't teach you, and probably the most valuable skill that you don't get is interpersonal communications. How you deal with the people that you work with without profanity. And I don't know how to do that. I have not cracked the code on that. And apparently, and I'm going to tell you this, and this is a little tip for you people if you're, your regular work environment. If you're working with somebody and they just complain about everything, you are not allowed to call them a snivelly little bitch. And I know that because Renee, she's the HRC lady, and she's a great way. We talked for hours. And she told me, she said you can't, and she told me a bunch of stuff you can't say. And I said, wait a second, Renee, you told me I can't call somebody a knucklehead. And you got to write that down. It's not in the employee handbook. I know, well, okay. It is now, you're welcome, but it wasn't at the time. So anyway, probably the most difficult thing being a veteran, and for those of you who like me and like a lot of the performers tonight are disabled veterans, is navigating that minefield of the VA medical system. And I got to tell you, first let me say, and I know the folks that work at the VA, the folks that I've run into are probably some of the best kind-hearted, just really sweet people, good sense of humor, very capable and competent. But the management, on the other hand, is, it's kind of like, picture this, you own a restaurant, let's say like a steakhouse or something, and you've got great serving staff, and you've got great people in the kitchen, and you've got a great menu, and you decide to replace your management staff with, say, well, let's go with 3rd graders, okay? You're going to put the 3rd graders in there in charge, and now when a customer comes in, they're not going to be surprised when you look at the menu and you see, like, I don't know, Skittles. And you know if you're going to order a steak, it's going to be a while before you get your steak. You know that. And it may be like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich or something by the time you get it. But I was able to kind of navigate the system. I finally got my appointment, and I had to go get the lab test done, and then the next week I went in, and I was waiting in the exam room, and the doctor came in, and he's looking at my test results, and he came in, and I think he took one look at me and he said, yeah, here's a guy who kind of isn't feeling real good about himself. Here's a guy who needs that boost, who needs that kind word, that word of encouragement. And I got to tell you, and this is why I love the staff of the VA, because that what he told me then, and I mean, honestly, I mean, it's still kind of choked up when I think about it, because he looked at me, he walked in and he said, "Mr. Little, you're a beast." And I was like, "Yeah, beast." I was feeling, you know, I hadn't felt that pumped. I was a paratrooper when I was in the Army. I'm like, yeah, this feels good. And I will never forget that. He looked me right in the eye and he said, if I can remember exactly how he put it, he goes, "You are," what's the phrase he used? "You are morbidly a beast." And, well, that's pretty much my time, but I thank you very much.